Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Renewal Center's Tea Time Tuesday. We are so excited today, once again, to be with you. Hello, all tea timers out there. We're so glad that you are here. We are streaming live on location at the Renewal Center here in the historic district of Concord, North Carolina. We are also streaming live on our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is the Renewal Center's YouTube channel. So we're so excited to be here again for a time of pause, again for a time of reset and building resilience. I'm telling you, last week we had such a wonderful time during our Tea Time Tuesday about workplace wellness. So we definitely want to invite some people to come on with us this morning. Invite a friend, go get your friend, tag your friend, share this broadcast on your social media page to let everyone know that the Renewal Center is streaming live today. This is awesome. We're excited that you're joining us. And we're so excited today because we have some really great awarenesses that we want to share with everyone. So first off, we want to recognize that this is Black History Month. And we're so excited. The Renewal Center is excited to be celebrating and commemorating this month of and honoring the celebrations, the contribution, and the achievements of African Americans. So we're really excited. The Renewal Center has an update about our Black History Month program coming, and we'll talk about that at the very end of our tea time today. We are also celebrating National School Counselors Week. How many school counselors do we have on the air with us today? How many tea timers are school counselors? Well, if you know a school counselor, we definitely want to say that we honor you today and we celebrate all of your contributions, your support, and your expertise, your hard work that you are doing in the school system. So we definitely want to make sure that we say hello and that we honor our school counselors wherever they are and whatever school district that they're in. So we're excited about that. Blessings to all of our school counselors and thanks for all you do. And so we're going to move along with our book of the week. As you know, this month we're continuing our books on leadership. And so we're excited about that. Our book of the week is called The Heart of a Servant Leader. Got a little bit of glare right there. A Heart of a Servant Leader, and it's by John C. Miller. Very, very great read. I'm going to give you just a little bit of information about the book. It says the Christian leader should be the chief servant, and that the right attitudes come only from a heart changed by an encounter with God. The author of this book leads his reader into a deeper understanding of the gospel and a life of humility, faith, and prayer. Miller, the author, gently challenges those called to serve as leaders to find their primary motivation in the glory of God alone. So this is an excellent book. Very, very, very good book here in our thought room at the Renewal Center called The Heart of a Servant Leader by C. John Miller. So if you're ever interested in finding out more information about great reads on leadership, tune in to our Tea Time Tuesday for the remainder of this month as we share what we have in our library collection on leadership. And moving forward to our tea of the week, I found this to be very interesting. Our tea of the week is sunflower tea. I'm telling you, I'm learning a lot about all the different teas that are out there. The tea of the week is a very simple tea to make, actually, sunflower tea. It's made from ground sunflower seeds. Isn't that interesting? I never heard of that. So I'm going to be trying this because I do like sunflower seeds. It's steeped together with the milk of your choice. You can use raw sugar or brown sugar. Sounds very interesting already. And cardamom spice. So this is going to be really nice. I can't wait to taste it. The sunflower, actually, I love looking at sunflowers. The sunflower is actually in the daisy family, and it's one of the most popular and largest herbaceous species in the herbaceous family. So I found that out. Actually, we do know that the sunflowers get to be very large, but they can be, the sunflower tea can be combined also with jasmine tea for an enjoyable flavor. So I challenge you, if you find out any information about sunflower tea or you taste it, let us know here at the Renewal Center. I know I'm going to be trying sunflower tea. So I'm so excited. Welcome, Nicole. I see Nicole out there. I see a lot of people tuning in. This is great today. Okay, so we're going to move forward to locating ourselves because we need to just kind of bring some calm to ourselves because we're in the hustle and the bustle of the day, of the work day. And so this is our time to just pause, take a moment to reflect, and just settle ourselves. So let's do that. Let's locate ourselves right quick. Let's take a quick minute to just sit in a nice, great position and just relax ourselves. If you're seated, just relax. And let's just take a nice deep breath, a few nice deep breaths, and just calm ourselves. So let's just do that for a second for some nice, relaxing, deep breathing. Thank you for taking that moment with me to locate ourselves. I'm telling you, I just, as I was locating myself, I could smell the aroma from the tea just by sitting there and relaxing. It's just really nice. We're going to move on with our Tea Time Tuesday and bring our executive director on for the rest of our Tea Time Tuesday as we talk about workplace wellness. Don't forget to bring your journal with you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Carmela. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Tea Time Tuesday. It's always good to be on. I hope that all of you have taken some time to locate yourself starting in the month of February. Take some time. We're here to help you focus on resetting, resting, renewing yourself, fostering resilience, and increasing resilience in our tea time community. So, what is your tea of the day, everyone? Tanya says that sunflower tea sounds delicious. So, go ahead and try that, Tanya. Give us your review the next time you're with us. All right, we definitely want to know what your thoughts are on that. I've never had that, Mel, so I'm interested in finding out what that tastes like. That sounds incredibly refreshing. So, what's your tea of choice, everyone, today? Let me know what it is that you're doing to reset yourself and rest yourself and refresh yourself during tea time today. I want to encourage you while you're on, please go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Renewal Center. Also, feel free to share this on your page. Let's go ahead and foster community. Tag some of your friends and your family, perhaps that they're taking lunch at this time, or welcome them to the tea time community. So go ahead, let's get these numbers up. Let's foster resilience by increasing the interaction today during our tea time. All right. We'd love to hear from you. Would love to connect with you. Thank you so much for coming on, everyone.
Okay.
Spiced tea. Okay. All right. That's my father, Dr. Paul Brown. Thank you so much. Hope, good to see you. Good afternoon. Great
Good
afternoon to
afternoon,
you.
Papa
Thank you so
Hope.
much for being on. Anyone else out there, let us know what your tea is of choice for the day. Nicole, let's see what Nicole has here. Ginger milk
Oh,
tea.
okay, Nicole, that sounds
Very, very
good.
good. Okay. Very nice. Ravella has jasmine tea. All right,
Mm,
jasmine tea. Anybody else? What you got out
yes.
there? If you are enjoying your tea this afternoon and you are resting and resetting, and you know how we say, locate yourself, that's what this is about, isn't it? All right. Carmela, you want to stay on today? What you want to do? You want to hang out or?
Sure, I'll stay on. I have my journal. I'll be ready. I can't
All
wait to hear
right.
what you have to
Good.
share.
Everybody get your journal out because last week we talked about workplace wellness. Many of you may be working from home now. There's been a major shift across the world about workplace readiness, workplace transformation. And so, one of the things I like to say as a remote worker, I've been working remotely for some years now, is that you want to have high tech and high touch. You want to synthesize those. How do you do that? By creating an atmosphere that speaks life to you, but also looking at some of the principles and actions that you and I do on a day to day basis. Perhaps that we have to learn how to simplify our life. Hope has hibiscus tea. All right. Keep bringing the teas on. Let us know what teas you have today. All right. We'd love to hear from you. So go ahead and please share this if you don't mind on your page. We would love to hear from you. We want to connect with others potentially that can connect with us, and we can begin to focus on our renewal practices for the day. All right. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for coming on. All right. So I'm going to ask a question again. And that question is, in what ways can you or will you simplify your life? In what ways can or will you simplify your life? Folks, that's so important. We have to work on what we can do to make sure that we're simplifying our life. So I want you to go ahead and put your answer in the chat. We talked about this last week. That was our opening for locating ourselves in the conversation. So I want you to think about that. What ways can or will you simplify your life? And not only that, what did you do last week that simplified your life? I want to go through a few of the ideas that we talked about last week that I think are important. And I want to review that first because we talked about the road of self-awareness. If you remember, we talked about the road of self-awareness. If you look at this particular framework, the road of self-awareness is about locating yourself, asking yourself, where am I right now? What's your state of mind and where are you going today? Right now, where are you? Where's your head and where's your heart? That's self-assessing. That's important that we do that on a day-to-day basis. Self-acknowledging. What are you doing? Who are you connected to today? Really sit with this, folks. What am I doing? Who am I connected to? We talked about the road of self-awareness. The third part was self-actualize. What do I need to do? Who do I need to be? Can we also ask another question? What do I need to stop doing? Maybe it's about what I need to stop doing or keep doing. So self-assessing, self-acknowledging, self-actualizing is what we're calling the road of self-awareness. The road of self-awareness. So there's a few things that we talked about last week and want to make sure that everyone is able to get in on these renewal practices on workplace wellness. If you're working from home, if you're going in, if you're constantly busy, if you're always moving. We talked about this last week and I want to dive into this same subject again. Good afternoon. Good to see you, Daphne, as well. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yes.
So here's where we want to start. I'd like us to go to review from last week first. Let's do a review of what we discussed last week as far as creating workplace wellness, which we'll consider that to be part one, Carmela. So we're going to jump onto that first. And I want to see how many of you out there perhaps adopted some of these practices from last week. We talked about detoxing your social media feeds. Detoxing your social media feeds. We talked about simplifying your phone. How do you manage your apps and your contacts? Do you still have a lot of apps that are cluttering your phone? Have you detoxed your social media feeds from last week? Some of you need to unfollow certain things. You need to disconnect from certain things. A few weeks ago in January, we started out this year talking about don't absorb what you observe. All right. We don't want to absorb it and internalize what we're observing. Simplify your phone. Detox your social media feeds. Clean off your desk. We call that the Ohio principle. Only handle it once. Only handle it once. Well, I mean, this is a lot that I got to do. There's so much that's on my plate. Only handle it once. Number 4, clear your computer clutter. What is unused on your desktop, your laptop? What folders do you have? I mean, just duplicate. Are there certain folders that you need to go in and say, I need to probably remove some of these files that I'm not using, and then maybe drag them into perhaps a external hard drive. Okay, I brought one over today, an external hard drive. Plug this into your USB, back up your files that you haven't touched in 3 months. If you have not touched them in 90 days and you're not going to use them, get rid of the clutter. We're not even going to talk about clutter in your house. We talked about that last year. Maybe we need to do a clutter-free when we get into the spring. But again, get yourself one of these. They're about between $25 to $45, and you can back these up in either your cloud drive as well as disk drive, so you can clear up more memory and your computer can function better. But again, look at the folders that you have and begin to clear computer clutter. Consider what is unused. All right, just want to go through last week's. That's part 1. All right, we talked about also organizing your inbox. What email features do you use? Type in unsubscribe and unsubscribe from the junk email. So many people have thousands of new emails that you don't have enough time to go through those. Sort them out. Unsubscribe. I mean, you want to be able to go to your email, right? And as soon as you bring them up, you want to be able to read what's important to you. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you got to go all the way down, scroll back, all in 2-3 minutes just to find an old email.
Mm-hmm.
Not a best practice. Organize your inbox. Unsubscribe to certain features. Okay. Make sure that perhaps there's certain types of, I would say, functionality that you can use in your Outlook or use in your Google email, whatever email program that you use. All right. So that's important. Organize your inbox. If you need to unsubscribe today, go through and unsubscribe. Set a goal for this week and say, I'm going to unsubscribe to at least one particular type of email that could be considered spam or something that I'm not using on a daily, weekly basis. It's not effective. It's not growing me. It's not productive. And the whole thing behind that is not absorbing what we observe. Hope this is making sense. All right. So if you're out there, please let me know, based upon last week's conversation, what workplace wellness renewal practices did you use, perhaps, or how did it impact you? Or if you're new to this today, does this make sense? Is this something that you can apply to help your life become simplified? Here's another principle that we talked about is set wellness meeting times. How do you manage your back-to-back meetings? In the work that I do in project management, change management, and consulting work, a lot of times, you know how it is when you're on a virtual call, folks will say, I got a hard stop at 1:00 and it is, 12:59. I got to hurry up and get off because I have a call at 1. And then, I got a hard stop at 2 and it's 1:59. And we end up going back to back to back. We don't take a wellness break. We don't take a breather. We don't stretch. We're not ergonomically sound in how we're sitting. How do we manage that? Well, one way is by setting your appointments. If you know you have a hard stop at 1:00, set your recurrent meetings for only 50 to 55 minutes and stick with that agenda. If you know it starts at 12, end your meeting at 12:50. End it at 12:55. And I mean, literally end it so you can have a wellness break for you. What do you do in that wellness break? Take your bio break. Go get some water. Do a stretch. Take a walk. Perhaps do something like this. Stretch a little bit. Stretch a little bit. Of course, have some tea. All right? Some other things you can do to set wellness meeting times, because many of us go from back to back to back and then we're rushing. So it's important that we do that. And then also we talked about motivation notifications. Perhaps have something that you can preset on your phone that you can use your calendar on your cell phone or in your laptop that can give you a notification that motivates you. All right. So again, these are different ways from a workplace wellness perspective. Even if you work remotely, you're working from home, implement these as part of helping you reduce clutter mentally, technologically. Carmela, you got anything to say about this? I see over there smiling and grinning. What's going on?
Yes, I'm recapping in my mind about all of the different practices that I, tried to remember to do last week. And I went right after your broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I started taking some things out of my email. I started cleaning out all of the spam, all of the old emails. It's still going to take some time, but I felt a little bit of a relief from getting rid of all of that stuff. So
all right. This stuff, that's what it is.
Yes.
Some of y'all got 5,000 unread emails, 6,000 unread, just sitting there looking at you. The email, the phone is like, help me out. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
So again, let's make sure that these are just ways that we can manage our workplace wellness so that we can be emotionally and mentally present and physically better with how we're working. So today we have a couple of principles that I want to talk about, a few practices. And if this is helping anyone out, I want to encourage you again. We're here at the Renewal Center, and tea time is for us to focus on resetting ourselves and renewing ourselves. So I'm going to place at the bottom of our screen where if you'd like to support the Renewal Center, you can support us and donate to our nonprofit. We are located 159 Church Street in the historic district of Concord. All right. We would love to be able to partner with you. And let's continue on with some of our principles for today. All right. Let's locate our in the area of workplace wellness. First thing I want to put up on the screen, because we talked about the road to awareness, is this particular phrase. All right. You're ready for this? Lean in on this one here. Multitasking is not a skill. Now, I know there are going to be a few folks that's going to debate me. Yeah, it is. You know, I got kids.
Yes.
Multitasking is not a skill. I already know. I know I'm going to get some folks. Yes, it is. You don't understand. I got a lot of stuff going on. It's not a skill, folks. The more we multitask, the less we actually accomplish, because we slowly lose our ability to focus enough to learn. The goal of a task is to implement the task and to learn the task. So I know many of us, we say that right now. Oh, well, I'm multitasking. Would you ever like your dentist who is taking out your root canal to multitask? You want to sit there in the chair and then they just, oh, I'll be right back. I got to check my phone. Oh, hold on a second. I got to drink some. Well, just 1 sec. Do you want them to do that to you when you're sitting in the dental chair? No, but yet we do that to ourselves.
That's good.
Multitasking is not a skill, folks.
Yeah.
Okay? That's not how it works. So I want to, first of all, level set that if we're going to have workplace wellness, whether we're on our jobs, whether we're at home, that we got to stop the multitasking madness. Okay? The more we do that, the less we actually accomplish. Now, let me share something with you. I think it's important, just in a little research. Now, read this with me. Look at this. People assume that a surgeon's skill is primarily in the precision and steadiness of his or her hands. Is that right? While there's some truth to that, the true gift of a surgeon is the ability to single-handedly focus on one person and complete a series of tasks over the course of many hours. Now let's sit on that. Talking about workplace wellness, and for you multitaskers out there. So imagine, and I know you go to the doctor's office, you want that person to focus on you. Am I right about that? And a lot of times, you know, I like to make sure that their head is on me, that they're thinking about me, that it's not about, well, you know, trying to just rush us out. All right. So when a surgeon, when he or she, they need to be steady, they need to be precise with their hands, but they have one single focus on that person, and they keep repeating the series over and over and over and over the course of many hours, where they are a specialist in what they're doing. All right. So imagine if we implemented these types of renewal practices in workplace wellness consistently. What do you think will happen in your life if you consistently were aware of how you managed your meetings, how you unsubscribed to emails that you didn't need, how you remove the clutter off of your technology, your desktop? All right. There's several practices we can do to get us to a place where we are producing wellness in our mindsets, in our emotional mindsets, in the emotional clutter and the physical clutter of our homes. All right. That is important. And I wanted to start out with that because I know many of us, many of you, we say that, don't we? Oh, I'm multitasking. Go to the dentist and let the dentist multitask the next time you go. You wouldn't like that, would you? So it's important that we make sure that we treat our lives the same. And perhaps when we talk about, I know we talked about the principle of notification motivation and using that as a premise of time utilization and management. Perhaps that means at 9 o'clock you set that, or, you know, at noon, there's something you do at noon every day, or there's something at 3 p.m. that you do. Make sure that you're taking your water breaks. If you need to get a notification that reminds you about your wellness, use it. If you have one of those, watches that can do that for you, put a notification on there. It's time for you to stretch. It's Time for you to walk. It's time for you to even use that time to take a breather. All right? Because if we don't master it, it'll end up mastering us. So today I want to go to a few more practices, and then we're going to talk about changing how we respond to life, changing how we're going to respond. All right, let's go to the next one. We're going to go to creating workplace wellness number 2. Let's do this in phases this week. Walk through your home. Go through your car, go through your purse, go through your wallet with a trash bag. When's the last time you did that? Your junk drawer. The very name should excite some type of order. Walk through your home, go through your car, go through your purse, go through your wallet with a trash bag. Empty out what you don't need. Come on, let's start right now. Go ahead and look at your purse right now. Look at your wallet. Go ahead. We're going to do it right now while we're live. We're having tea time. Sip your tea, do a stretch, and go to your purse. Come on, Mel, you over there too. Y'all go to your purse, go to your wallet. Did it to your car last week. Very good. Walk through your home. Go through your car. Those of you that can, look at your wallet right now. Look at your purse right now. Go through a trash bag and just say, let me empty this. Doesn't it feel good? Anybody doing it? I bet you're refreshed already. Some of y'all, yeah, I know you're probably just like, oh, I can't get rid of this stuff. Okay. Workplace wellness. All right. Home as well as in our jobs. All right. We want to go through our home later on today when you get a break and just take a bag and start thinking about what you need to dispose of, what needs to be released, what needs to go out. What are your thoughts so far, folks, of what we're talking about? Creating workplace wellness. This is part number 2. All right, let's keep going. Number 2, clean out your fridge. Today, go look at the expiration dates and throw stuff away. Think about the expiration dates and then release them, throw them away. Clean out your fridge. That's another way of wellness. All right? Because again, sometimes we buy so much stuff and we're not going to use it immediately, or we just stuff things in there. That helps you manage your nutrition and your diet as well. Check for expiration dates. Throw a few things away if you can today. Just do a quick clean. Try to do that at least once a week. Get in the practice and the habit of walking through your home, going through your car, going through your purse, going through your wallet, going through your fridge. Number 3, put your number on the do not call list. There's the donotcall.gov. Go ahead and do that while we're on today. Register your number if you have a feature on your phone. All right. Go ahead and make sure that you can go ahead and use the feature on your phone that will block those things so that you won't have that. Certain times of the day, turn off your notifications that you don't need. Ping, ping, ping. Turn that notification off. Put yourself on the do not call list. Go ahead, you can do it now. If you need to do it, if you've already done it, then you don't need to re-register. But if you haven't done it yet, that'll help minimize just basic distractions to help us out.
Oh, yes.
All right?
That's a good thing to say, because I was just sitting here thinking the phone rings off with a hook with the phone calls. Yes. And so I think that is really good practice that you're mentioning. One of those key things to do is to put our names on that register.
And then we end up multitasking. We take a phone call and then we go back to what we think we are focused on, one task at a time. All right. Number 4, let's go with this. Write your morning or weekly checklist and tape it on your bathroom mirror with an affirmation. You might do a post-it. Now, here's the reason behind that. Is if you write out a morning checklist or something for your week and you put it up there, you're seeing it consistently and your mind is focusing on that affirmation or focus on what you want to get accomplished for that week. Now, again, we're talking about workplace wellness, which is also a mindset change and a mindset shift. So perhaps put it on write out, and we could do that now if you like as well. Use a post-it or something. You write that out and you place it up there so that you can see it consistently. Or you may adopt that as a practice for just if you need to reinvent some thinking processes that you may have, then that's something you could put on the door before you leave your house. You're always seeing it every time. Or, and I say the bathroom mirror because you're in there every day, or the fridge because you're at the fridge all the time. Or if you're leaving the home, you see it and you're constantly seeing that list. You're seeing what it is you want to get done. You're setting a precedence for your week, reinforcing your environment. All right. Reinforcing wellness in your mind. All right. These are different things, practices we can do, simple, that can help us out. So if you're out there, please let me know what your thoughts are. If you're watching today, I want to hear what your thoughts are. All right. Dr. Brown says here he did that last week with his car. Karen is saying that she's decluttering her home already. Your business is at home. Absolutely. Says we all up in the mix now, huh? Because you're cleaning out your fridge. Very good. These are practices that we want to be able to implement in order for us to be effective in bringing renewal practices in our lives. Let's go to number 5. Here's another one. Schedule a vacation or a staycation for some time this year. Now, I know that this involves saving and setting things aside, but I want to say this, even as a staycation, find a time within the next 90 days that you can just do a staycation. That's going to be a time for you to be at calm. That's going to be a time for you to be at peace. That's going to be a time where you're not going to work on so much, but work on renewal practices. Think about that. Go ahead and take your schedule out. I have mine right here. Okay. I have mine right here. It might be your phone. I use both. Why? Because I like to write, and I still like the tactile involvement of writing. If you want to find out a little bit more about that, talk to Carmela Head. She has a wonderful webinar on making sure that you learn how to manage and utilize your time effectively. All right. Aretha says that one. Birthday is in April. Vacation is in the works. Happy birthday in advance. Absolutely. All right, folks. Vacation or staycation. Think about that. You're not going to do a lot of load work. Just stay at home and be at peace. Stay at home and do things that are recreational for yourself, things that refresh you. Think about when you can do that. And I know some of you are probably thinking, that's so much that I have to do. There's a lot that's on me. If you don't document, it won't happen. If you don't document, it won't happen. Same thing with when we're managing projects. What's not document didn't happen. Well, if we document that I'm going to do a staycation on this particular Friday, this is what I'm going to do on that day. Here's what I'm going to do. We should use that for ourselves. All right. However you want to use it. I just think it's important that we get into the practice of doing some kind of staycation just for us. Well, I work from home. That's still fine. Disconnect from all the technologies. Go back to the previous renewal practices as far as creating wellness that we discussed earlier. All right. These right here. Maybe you're going to take an hour or two to say, on my staycation, I'm going to do these types of workplace wellness issues so that when I come back, I have made some adjustments in how I'm going to function. All right. Daphne is saying again, yep, if you don't document, it will not happen. Absolutely. So I want to make sure folks document it by writing it down, putting it there now. If you're at a space where you can look at your schedule now, take some time to go ahead and look at your schedule. Start thinking about, okay, here's what I need to do. See, look at me. Look at my notification. You know what just showed up? Amazon. He's at the door. Okay, let me turn that off so I won't be distracted. But here's the thing, folks. Workplace wellness is about managing these different types of events in our lives. And there's a difference between action and activity. There's a difference. And I want you to really think about what that means to you. There's a difference between action-oriented and just activity. So we need to consider that. And if we're going to have wellness in the work we do, we spend 8 to 10 hours daily in our work. That's a large chunk of our lives that we're spending waiting in lines, that we're spending looking at screens, that we're looking at logging on the calls. all these different things. And if we're spending that much time during our day, you might as well go ahead and create a place that speaks wellness to you. All right. So it's important that we are able to implement these principles. Carmeli, what are your thoughts so far? Just as far as some of these practices. I know they're very simplistic things, but perhaps these are areas that what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think this is very refreshing. And one of the things that really jumped out at me, which I'm just really adamant about, is if you don't document, it will not happen if you don't document it. And I like that because it's given us something visual to see so that we can commit it to memory. So the more you see it, like the affirmations or our plans or the vacations or what we want to do or what we plan to do, it helps to simplify our lives when we can actually see something. So I like that. It's refreshing, and so that we don't have to try to figure out, oh, I didn't realize I was supposed to do that. But if you have it in front of you, it's a great way to help declutter mentally. It frees up some space.
Yeah, that's so important. And I'm glad that you mentioned that. And I want to encourage everyone, perhaps think about that this week, what you can put on a piece of paper, post it, whatever, put it there, that you can see it. And then you just remove it on a daily basis or a weekly basis. It could be something as simple as this week, I'm going to refresh my mind in a prayerful meditation for 5 minutes per day. It might be something as simple as that. Again, we want to start small. Now, we're going to talk about how we need to respond to this. Because I know some of us are thinking, well, how are we going to do this? Because I got a lot going on. Okay, well, I can help you with that. All right. Let's discuss what that looks like when we talk about what it is that we need to do in order for us to be able to change how we respond. All right. There are 5 things we can do, 5 steps, 5 renewal practices in changing how we respond. Ready? Let's go through these together. Number 1, accept. Accept where you are before making changes. Just acknowledge it. Accept, okay, you know what? Things are out of control. If you need to say that, be honest about it. Accept where you are before you start to make changes. We have to accept the reality that maybe I don't have workplace wellness. And if I start accepting it, if you decided you need to change, right? Accept yourself in the place you are right now. Sit with it. Locate yourself, accept where you are so that you can say, okay, before I even try to do anything and start making any changes, I need to accept what I need to do to change. All right. Why do you think it's important for you to accept where you are before making changes? It's a good rhetorical question for us to reflect on. Why is it important for me to accept where I am before I'm making changes? And you know why we ask that question? Because it keeps our focus off of other people and on ourselves. It's very easy to, look at what they need to do. They need to make that change. Well, I need to accept where I am before making changes so that I can maintain my focus on my own development. That shifts you into ownership of where you are. It's a form of documentation, but it's done up here in our minds. It's like a mental emotional placeholder, if I could use that term. It's like a placeholder to say, I know this is where I am. So here's where it is. And when I put that placeholder there, that is a point where I can check into where I am, my own status. The word status actually means state of us. Status. So what's my state of us? What is our collective state as a people? What's our collective state in how we live our lives? So we want to accept. That's step number 1. Please feel free, if you're out there taking notes, love to hear from you. Place your comments in the chat feature. We'd love to hear from you. All right, let's keep going. Number 2, start. Begin with the small things. Don't feel the need to do everything at once. Start with the small things. Do not try to do everything at once. One behavior goal change at a time. One particular habitual transformation at a time. Begin with the small things. All right. Practical application. Accept where I am. Look at where I am before I try to make changes. Just accept it. This needs to stop. This needs to change. This needs to be different. All right. Second, start small. Begin with these smaller things. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to start with unsubscribing. Maybe that's where you're going to start. I'm going to start with perhaps decluttering my mail. Thinking about how I manage my desk. All right. Start small. Number 3, very important, talk. Discuss it with your trusted friend, family member. And if you're not sure, then that's when you start moving into the therapeutic part of it, or perhaps a coach. Now, again, what are coaches there for? Coaches are there to help you organize where you are, assess where you are, evaluate where you are, and to help you to develop a path forward. That's what coaching helps you do. It keeps you on track. It gives you guardrails. It gives you the boundaries, help you emerge from within. So that's important from coaching. Counseling helps you address the issues that you don't have the capacity to address yourself. I can't do a root canal on myself. I could try. All right. And what that does, talking it out, helps us realize that there's nothing wrong with me being able to receive ideas and information and insight and clarity through talking. All right. That's important. And again, this is about our responsiveness to the aforementioned things we're talking about in workplace wellness. Accept, start, talk it out. Number 4, practice. Now, with your desired outcomes in mind, start practicing your responses to a given situation. Think about how you're going to respond moving forward. Practice your desired outcomes. Here's how I'm going to respond to a particular interruption. This is how I'm going to respond when somebody, especially for those people that don't know how to say no. No is a beautiful word. Learn how to use that in your vocabulary. Okay? Sometimes we don't want to let people down, and that gets into the mix of us being workplace well. Okay? So think about it. Okay, I'm going to make sure this time I'm going to say no. I'm not going to apologize for saying no. Sometimes you got to rehearse that stuff in your brain. So in order for you to stay the course, practice your responses. I do that when I have to speak. I do that before tea time. Okay, this is the subject. How am I going to let this out? How am I going to communicate? All this, you put that because you start envisioning where you want to be. You envision where you want to be. You got to start it and you got to practice it before you actually move. Okay? Accept, start, talk, practice. Everybody with me on that? Accept where I am before I start making changes. Start. Begin with the small things. Talk it out. That could be coaching. That could be counseling. That could be with a friend, trusted friend. Trust, what do you mean? Somebody that's consistently dependable and they allow you to be who you are. And the goal is accepting you and inviting you into renewal. That's what we should do if we're going to talk that out. Practice. Again, when with your desired outcomes in your mind, you start practicing your responses to specific given situations. Let's go to the last one. This last one is important. It's a little different than number 3. It's listen. Hear what you are saying. Hear what you say with a compassionate ear. I want to ask you the question, what's coming out your mouth? Now, there's a lot of things we need to think about. Hear what you say with a compassionate ear. Maybe things like the self-talk that we have, or sometimes it's a talk that says, well, I already know that, so, that doesn't apply to me. Okay, well, maybe there's another area. So we got to monitor the chatter, monitor what I'm saying, and making sure that, you know yourself. You know yourself. So you know your best self and you know your worst self. We know ourselves. So it's important that we listen to what our emotions, our mind, our logic, our rationale, and what our bodies or stress factors are saying to us. So, changing how you respond in order for us to get to the workplace wellness decisions. All right. I'm doing that right now as I'm speaking to you. I'm thinking about how I'm going to manage my projects for the rest of my 90 days. I'm juggling being in a doctoral program. How am I going to manage doctoral statistics? How am I going to manage how I reflect? How am I going to manage when I don't get the A that I want to get? Okay, I'm not interested. I had to come up with this mindset that I'm not interested in being in perfection. I'm interested in making progress. So I had to write out something: progression over perfection. Progression over perfection. That was for me. I needed to say that over and over again, so I didn't have this expectation that GPA was everything. Really, it was about growing and applying what I'm learning that was important for me. Does that make sense? So I started doing that and listening to myself. And that's what I was able to bring myself out of a particular slump. I don't know if you ever gotten in a slump? You just not feeling this right now. I'm not thinking the way that I need to. How did I get out of there? I accepted it. You know what? Here's where I am in order for me to start making changes. I'm going to begin with the small things. Sometimes I need to talk it out. Other times, let me start practicing it so I can start shifting my mentality. Here's how I'm going to respond to this. Here's what I'm going to do here. And then I needed to listen to what I was saying about myself and about circumstances. That helped me elevate myself out of whatever mental slump that I was in, thought slump that I was in, and I was able to bring myself into resolution. But you got to start by accepting where you are and beginning with the small things. All right? So these are our renewal practices for the week in workplace wellness. Multitasking is not a skill. Let's stop it. Okay. Let's work on the road of self-awareness. All right. Make sure that we go through self-assessing, self-acknowledging, self-actualizing. Just be mindful of that. Let's make sure that we look at these workplace wellness practices that we can utilize. And we'll post these for you on our pages for you to access these later. And then creating a workplace wellness focus. Carmela, what are your thoughts?
Oh, these has just been some great insights on ways to simplify our lives. And I definitely love the fact that there are different ways that we can tackle each one of these different things to help us. And starting with small really jumped out at me. Take a little bit at a time, bite off a little bit at a time. And that makes a difference over time, that you're not overtaxing or overwhelming yourself. So these are some great principles. We can start walking these out.
That's right. Very good. So a couple of things we want to do before we close out for the day. Just want to remind you that you can support us here at the Renewal Center. If these Tea Time Tuesdays renewal practices are a benefit to you, to your friends, to your family, we'd like you to partner with us. You can donate to the Renewal Center through the information that's there on the screen, through our PayPal, through our website, Renewal Centers, therenewalcenters.com/give, through Cash App, Cash Renewal Center. You can text to give through our mobile app. Please download that to the number that you see on the screen there. Or you can mail P.O. Box 1381, Concord, North Carolina, 28026. I'll leave that up there. We'd love you to partner with us. We are working to expand our programming so we can reach others with renewal practices here in the Concord, Charlotte, North Carolina community, as well as our vision. We use the word global, which stands global and local. We kind of smash it together because we want to reach people through our mobile app as well. So just want to remind you of that. So Carmela, let's go ahead and I'll bring up what we have going on for Black History on the screen. Can you share that with us, please?
Yes, great. This is some of our community programs are coming up, and we're really excited about Black History Month. So we want you to celebrate with us. Friday, February the 18th and Saturday, February 19th, We're so excited. We're going to be bringing the Renewal Live virtual broadcast to you. And so we'll be featuring special guest speakers with authors. We're going to be highlighting businesses, Black businesses, spoken word. It's just going to be amazing. We want you to join us. That's going to be Friday the 18th at 7 p.m. and Saturday, February 19th at 12 noon. So make sure that you tune in our Facebook pages so that you can keep up with the announcements on our upcoming events for Black History Month. So we're really excited. So invite your friends, bring them with you to this wonderful broadcast we're going to be having.
Absolutely. So that's February. We're excited about that. We also have another event that we're going to be doing for March. Let me go ahead and bring that up as well. Let me bring this up on one point, please. All right, here we go. A virtual paint and sip. So we have a virtual paint and sip that's coming up. Go ahead, Carmel. You got it? Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I heard a gap there, so I wasn't sure. You can go ahead and read that.
Okay, the virtual paint and sip is going to be Saturday, March 12th. Virtual paint and sip. Our director of our digital renewal, Hope Melton, has really began to cast a vision for us to engage even more. And so this is a fun activity to foster fellowship. Our virtual paint and sip is going to be Saturday, March 12th, 12:30 to 3:30. Now, it's $30 plus $8 for the shipping and registration. It'll include the paint kit if you're a paid participant. So we want to make sure you RSVP, all right? So payments can be made through our Cash App, as you can see, or through PayPal. Just send $38. We want to encourage you to just make sure that you look at our Facebook post, our Instagram post, or in our mobile app so you can RSVP. So please make sure that you reach out to us so that you can register for that. All right. Look forward to be able to say, I know I'm going to be there. I'm looking forward to having some fun and enjoying a virtual paint and sip. Yes. We have several other things that we have going on because we're focusing on renewing minds, restoring lives, and reforming culture as part of what we do to reach the community. We have a Reforming Culture series. We're currently teaching on the prophetic leadership principles of Nehemiah, first, second, and third Wednesdays at 7 p.m. You can actually reach out and register to that particular course session. I'm teaching that course. I'm really excited about what we've learned thus far. Some of the folks that may have come on our Tea Time, they've been a part of that course. And so I want you to come out and be a part of that as well. We have one tomorrow evening. We also have our blog that comes out twice per month. Each and every Monday, you can receive a renewal word if you download the mobile app. And we're also going to be expanding our digital video presence through our YouTube channel as well as in our mobile app. All right. So we definitely want you to be a part of what we're doing. And we appreciate you partnering with us, being a part of the Renewal Center's Tea Time community. We'll see you next Tuesday. All right. 12 noon. Set your calendars. Put a notification on there. Next Tuesday at 12, you're going to locate yourself. You're going to sit with this type of renewal practices so we can all begin to expand ourselves and make sure that we're working towards implementing renewal principles. Carmel, any last words you want to share with anyone before we finish?
Thanks to all our Tea Timers and our Tea Timer community. Thank you so much for joining us today.
All right, folks, we look forward to connecting with you. Until then, I am Renewal.
I'm Renewal.